everybody, and welcome to another ASMR video here on the channel. Now before we get into tonight's video, I feel like I've got to give a little bit of an update as to where I've been. And for me it feels like ages since I last sat in front of the camera. For you guys, it's been maybe 10-11 days-ish, maybe longer, since I last uploaded a video. To cut a long story short, I've been very unwell. Really, I've been ill the last 3 weeks straight. It's potentially COVID, potentially the flu. But then it basically all came to a head the weekend before last, where I have asthma, and I had like just an awful asthma flare-up on top of already being ill. So then I was off work last Monday to Wednesday and managed to work Thursday, Friday, but talking was an effort, so whispering possibly even more difficult. But thankfully last Monday got put on some antibiotics, and I feel 100% once more. Still got a little bit of a cough, but it's kind of, I can feel I'm at the end of it, so that's kind of where I've been. Really not the start to 2025 that I wanted. I feel like with content and stuff and work has just felt so disjointed. But that's where I've been. I'm feeling better, and hopefully we can get going with the proper schedule. Anyways, tonight is a little bit of a celebration, actually, if we're being honest. It is a 40k subscribers Q&A, because no YouTubers ever do a Q&A for hitting a milestone. It's never been done before. I thought it was a pretty good idea. But thank you, first and foremost. 40k is a really, really cool number. I feel like 50k is an even cooler number though, and that's my aim for the end of the year. We're kind of on pace at the minute to be just shy of that, but I feel like if I get back into the flow and get shorts and the TikTok going again, which is the plan over the next few weeks, we can hit that 50k target. But thank you, 40,000 of you. It's just insane. And yeah, I figured it's been a long time since I did a Q&A, so I've asked you guys for some questions, of course, and genuinely, I reckon, let me get my Google Doc up. I reckon there's close to 100 questions here, to be fair. I said to people, don't have to do one per person, ask as many or as little questions as you want, and I'm going to answer as truthfully as possible. Equally as well, I've written all of these out, but it was sort of like mindless copying. I haven't planned any of these answers. I kind of wanted it to be as raw and uncut as possible, apart from when I probably have to take a breath or cough my guts up. Which, annoyingly, my last video I left in, like me going bang, which is what I say to, usually to cut out rather than snapping, because I often miss snap, so I shout bang. I left one in the last video, and for that I am so sorry. Anyways, to keep me hydrated, I've got my Pikachu cup with my Pikachu behind me, because I'm, 12 years old, evidently. Let's get into the questions. So, members get priority. What an incredible perk. But shameless plug, if you are thinking of becoming a member, now's a good time. I think the way the schedules have fell, and with me being ill and needing to make up for it, I think there's going to be members exclusive content this week, and then the week after that, and the week after that, and potentially the week after that as well. So 3 to 4 weeks straight of exclusive extra 20 to 30-minute videos. So sign up, why not? Right, enough chit chat. Let's answer some questions, shall we? So we begin with Dad Esquivel, who is a big supporter of the channel, always commenting. He's asked a couple of questions. What's been your favourite part of your ASMR content journey so far? That is a good question. I mean, one moment that comes to mind is getting the HelloFresh brand deal, because I kind of, when the contact first started, because I have no manager or anything, I kind of thought it was going to be a scam. But then when the HelloFresh box turned up, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm a YouTuber. Like, we're still a small channel, but that made me feel like proper, weirdly. So that was nice. I'd also argue that the channel probably peaked this Halloween just gone with the Smash or Bars video. I mean, dressing up as a monk and, Smash or Barsing various fictitious characters. I'd quite like to do another one with, like, Disney characters or something, but that video was just so unbelievably fun to make. If you were to live outside of the UK, where would it be and why? That is a good question. I mean, realistically, it'd have to be somewhere that's predominantly English speaking, really. Australia doesn't particularly appeal to me. That being said, I've never been there. Might love it. I mean, I've been to America a couple of times and loved it, but I think I would probably stick to East Coast, rather than West Coast. I've really liked Boston. No idea what Boston is like to live there, but I don't think I'd want to live in a major city. Cape Cod around there had a nice, like, kind of way of life about it, kind of peaceful. So maybe out there. And then, if not there, curveball Switzerland, just because it's gorgeous, isn't it? Okay, next up we have Lele, who asked a few questions, so thank you, Lele, if that's how you say your name. Apologies if not. How did you first get into ASMR? I think quite a few people asked this, and I haven't put any repeats on this Google Doc, so at least your question's getting answered. I've been watching ASMR pretty much since the very, very beginning, and I can tell you when my first video was, because I remember the video. It was Dolly Whisper's video, and the first video I watched, I think it was this one, unpacking some groceries, or it was an interview roleplay 12 years ago. 12 years ago, like, that is obscene. So I think I found it because I searched relaxing sounds for sleep. Listened to a couple of those, like, generic videos, but then Dolly Whispers came up, and back then there was a seriously, like, finite number of creators, really, channels doing it. And honestly, I wish I'd started my channel back then, like right at the beginning. But I didn't. I waited a little bit. And then in my first year of uni, I decided to make the channel in secret. And did the niche of football. And I mean, now there's loads of channels, loads of good channels that do ASMR football content. But I was really the first churning that out. I mean, there was a guy called James Dale, but he uploaded so sporadically. But he was one of my biggest, like, inspirations. and the ASMR gamer were kind of like the two main reasons I started my channel, but I was really the only one putting out regular ASMR football content, and now obviously loads have sprung up. And then what happened was an old school friend found my channel and said, "Is this you? It sounds like you." Now me being back then and being, for want of a better word, a pussy, I denied this and stopped uploading, basically, because I was scared. A little baby. Shameful. Anyways, I forgot about the channel until whenever we restarted it again, must be 3 or 4 years ago now. And checked and it had like 900 subscribers, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's pretty cool. I'd gained quite a few in my absence. I think when I left I hit 500 maybe. And then it was my partner who told me to start it again, and then came back, did some football stuff, and then went into all sorts rather than just doing football, because I love football, but I don't think I could do content like on it like every single week, every day kind of thing. So yeah, that's my ASMR journey, really. There you go. Next, what's your favourite Pokemon and what's the best card in your collection? I've been pretty lucky over the last few years, to be fair, with packs and stuff. I mean, I really got back into the hobby, like, because at the minute it's kind of hard to buy packs and products for the new sets, because there's just scalpers and people who are buying them just to kind of, sell the cards straight away and stuff. I'm sure I'll sell my collection at some point, but right now I enjoy just having them. My most valuable card is the Moonbryon. In a 3-pack blister pack, I packed the Moonbryon and the Glaceon Art, like, in 3 packs. But I think the most excited I've ever got back in a card was Pokemon 151, the Charizard old art, the one where it's like flying through the sky. They're probably my favourites. I've also got a few like old base set cards that just remind me of my childhood. Favourite Pokemon? Lugia. Well, my favourite ever is Rayquaza, then Lugia, then Lucario. But I also love Charizard, but I always kind of feel Charizard is a bit of like a basic bitch answer. So, Rayquaza, Lugia, Lucario. Who would win in a fight, Grogu or Pikachu? I feel like Grogu takes it. I mean, he'd get tired, but like he's got the force, right? Pikachu is pretty durable, but I just feel like the force probably trumps electricity, so I'll go with Grogu. If you could have any superpower, what would it be? I've thought about this quite a lot. It'd be pause time. I think pausing time, kind of like in Click, would just be so useful. Like, wake up, I'm still tired. Click my fingers, pause time, go back to sleep, wake up naturally, fully rested, snap, start my day. If I need to rob a shop, snap my fingers, walk in, take the thing, walk out, snap, play again, easy. I think it'd just be useful for getting about. If you could live in any fictional world, what would it be? 100% Harry Potter. 100%, as long as I was guaranteed to be a wizard and not a filthy muggle. And that's the end of Lele's question, so thank you. We've got Dave_bed next. How did you and your partner meet? A few of you asked this question, and I've got no issue sharing this. For those of you that don't know, I live with my partner. We're getting married in August, and we've been together, oh gosh, 7 years. might be 7 years in August. No, it might be 8 years in August. Oh gosh, it's fine, she won't watch this. We met in my first year of university. I'd just broken up with the girl I was with through sixth form and whatnot. I'd broken up with her for a good few months and whatever, and it was one of those ones where you honestly almost shut your brain off to the concept of being with or finding anybody else. And I was living with one of her best friends at the time. She came up to visit her friend. I got home from watching Thor Ragnarok at the cinema, which coincidentally is my favourite Marvel movie. Maybe, to the fact that MCU movie. Maybe helped by the fact that I watched it for the first time. That I met the future mother of my children. And yeah, and she just gone for a breakup as well, really similar situations. And to be honest, she was the one who made the first move, because her friend who I lived with had kind of said she's just gone for a breakup. Nobody trying anything. I don't really know why she said that to this day, because me and my friends who lived in that flat were kind of nerdy and weren't really the kind who would have a pop, so to speak. But I obviously shut her off in that way in my mind. But then, we're just chatting at pre-drinks, and then when we were going on a night out, to be candid, I think I needed to go for a boo, so they all went to the taxi rank, which was a little couple minute walk away. I held back, and then when I came out of my block, my partner was waiting for me, and to this day, she doesn't know what compelled her to stay and wait for me. She was by herself, literally just waiting, and then we walked together to the taxi rank, and then the rest is history. We stayed up till literally 5 or 6 in the morning, literally just talking the whole time. And we're still here. We have a house together, a mortgage, and we're getting married in August. So there you go. It's not particularly glamorous, but bottom line is, she made the first move. Next up, dairy entry with probably the hardest hitting question of this video. Grizzly bear versus silverback gorilla. Who wins? That is really tough, because grizzly bears are so durable, aren't they? But gorillas are pure muscle. I'm backing the grizzly, I think, on this one. I think the grizzly would just inflict damage easier on the gorilla rather than the other way round. I'm backing grizzly. That's a good question though. Ella May has asked a few questions, so thank you, Ella. If you could choose any career, what would it be? Can't say ASM artist. I'd score movies. I think in another life, I'm fairly musical, but I kind of gave all the instruments I played up. I think in another life I'd have carried on and then done something musical at uni and just unpursued that. I know all the Zimmer fanboys always like movie bros are oh yeah, I want to score movies, but like Jesse in Pitch Perfect, kinda wish I was a bit like him. That would be my dream job. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? 5 years. God, that's a long time. I'll be 32. I'll be 32. Do I want kids by then? I don't know. I'd like to, still be at my same company because I really enjoy working there. I think really I'd like to just be more well-travelled. I think me and my partner, before we have, kids, we really want to tick off all of the places that we want to go to. So last question is, who is your favourite YouTuber? No, I won't do ASMR YouTuber because I think other people have asked that. I don't really. I mean, I tend to watch more groups than like individual YouTubers, to be honest. I really like Mr. GG. He's an individual. He does like movie reaction commentary videos, and he's so funny. I like watching Big Wedge Golf, even though I don't play golf. I like watching Pitchside, which for those of you that don't know, there's 3/4 of them, and they basically do live streams watching football, and they have a football podcast basically. That's always entertaining. But aside from that, I kind of just watch TV shows, and then I use YouTube for like ASMR. Really, there's no one I really follow like absolutely religiously. Well, thank you, Ella, for those questions. Next up, Tyler, another legend who has been around a long time. And by the way, side note, members, it's on my to-do list. Hopefully I'll have time this week. If not this week, next week, I'm gonna update the members badges, because some of you have been members for like a year or 2 years or something stupid. Anyway, Tyler has asked a few questions. What inspired you to start creating ASMR? I mean, I touched upon it. James Dale with his sporadic football videos, ASMR Gamer, who I've been subscribed to for an unholy amount of time. They were the two main ones where I was like, okay, I could do this. And then there comes a point where, I've been watching ASMR for 12 years. Like, I've seen channels come and go, I've seen like all of the new ones pop up, and then it got to the point where I was like, I want to give back to what ASMR did for me, kind of thing. And I still, that's still really what drives me now. Because I always say, like, I mean, you make like no money back then. The money I make now, like, it's literally nothing crazy at all, but it does help. Obviously, having a mortgage and stuff, but it's nothing like, it's really nothing insane. Certainly nowhere near enough to make it my full-time job. So that is far from it's a factor why I, do ASMR, but it's far from the primary driver. The primary driver is still, wanting to give back to everything that ASMR's done for me, basically. I can have a little drink. Do you have a favourite trigger that always relaxes you? I mean, really, I'm just a big whispering and soft-spoken guy, but I love tracing. When someone's my favourite videos are when someone's like doing DVD collection and they trace the titles. Perfect. I love that stuff. Rightio. Tyler also asks, what's your favourite UK-based comfort food or snack? Great question. Are Twiglets UK-based? I think they might be. If you don't know what Twiglets are, it's like Marmite, but like Marmite sticks. Like, they literally look like twigs that you would find outside under a tree. Oh, you can get these little packets if you're a coward, or you can get these big like tubes, usually around Christmas time. I can polish one of them off in a sitting comfortably. I usually have to have family members, pry it out of my hands. So yeah, Twiglets for sure. I'm also a big fan of Pink Panther biscuits. They're my favourite kind of biscuit. So good. And Tyler's final question is, what's one thing you'd like your viewers to know about you? One thing I'd like them to know about me. I don't know really. That's a bit of a tough one. I feel like I'm pretty transparent, but equally there's nothing that remarkable or like insane about my life. One thing to know about me. first ever 180 in darts. There you go. And then I threw my second ever 180 literally the day after. So I'll be going pro soon. Thanks, Tyler, for those questions, mate. Next up is Bag of Money. Bag of Money. Another big supporter of the channel. He asks, what's your favourite fact from all the fact videos you've done? Blimey. Wow, what a question. I've done so many of them, I retain very little information. I'll tell you one that I remember from the history fact videos is in World War II. I like the Great Dane was awarded the Blue Cross medal for putting out a bomb by being on it. For some reason that one has stayed with me, so there you go, you can have that one. And the final member who asked some questions, I'm really hoping I didn't miss anybody. Oh, I'm sorry. Deep Scrubs, legend. Favourite ASM artists or triggers? I've done triggers really. Favourite ASM artist? I mentioned ASMR Gamer. I love ASMR and R at the minute. He's purely like a Pokemon centered channel. He's so good. So good. Who else? I'll occasionally listen to Jake Paul ASMR, but I'm not like a big basketball guy, so like usually I'll watch his basketball videos. I like Collect and Play. Occasionally I'll watch Dido. Yeah, I mean ASMR Game has been number one for a long time, like 100%. And then female ASMR artists, Prim ASMR or Mrs. Onion Magic. I think that's what she's called now. I think that might be it. Is it Blue Whisper as well? I really like her. She's great. And Deep Scrubs, if football didn't exist, what would your next favourite sport be? I mean, I think it's a toss-up really between darts and Formula 1, probably. That's what I'd go for. But thank you, Deep Scrubs, for the questions. Thank you, members. So, now on to the rest of the questions. Kate asks, favourite childhood memory? I think I've been asked this before. My answer probably changes every time. I mean, one big one is when I was 10. Oh, no, wasn't 10. How old would I have been? 13 maybe. Yeah, 13 or 14. We did a big RV trip around west coast of America, and that was just amazing. Like, started in San Francisco, then went to Yosemite, Sequoia National Park, Zion, Joshua Tree, LA, Vegas. I mean, Vegas as a 13-year-old, pretty pointless, but we still did some cool stuff there, and that was just like holiday of a lifetime. I really want to do that again at some point. And then what else could we say? Maybe when I was mascot for Ipswich away at Wolves with my brother. That was fun. And for those of you football fans, popular Barclays man John Walters, I saw him naked and was scarred as a child. So there you go. Kind of weird a naked man made his way into my favourite childhood memory, but there we go. The most challenging thing you've had to face in life? God, we're getting deep. I mean, there's really a clear answer, but I don't really want to dive into the specifics of it on the channel. I'm all for being, as transparent as possible. But there are some things I think don't need to be shared. But over the last year and a half, maybe even 2 years now, I've just now, but it's still difficult. So definitely when that all started kicking off, that definitely is the most challenging. What's a country you want to go to? Top of my list is Vietnam. I studied Vietnam for my dissertation at university. It's just such a fascinating country. So that's top of the list. Thailand definitely, and I want to go back to America, and Iceland, and Switzerland. There's loads. Thank you, Kate, for those questions. Donna asks, oh, okay, so this is the question I replied, saying, rude. What do you think about Ipswich's poor play in the Premier League? So, I've been to most games this year, and yes, we're third bottom, and yes, the three that came up are probably going down, but, like, we're genuinely better than Wolves. But I just think we've recruited too many Championship players, as opposed, I think we needed to sprinkle in a few more proven Premier League players, to be honest. Because really there's been a relatively few amount of games where we've been absolutely blown away, like the City game, Newcastle, Liverpool. But like in the Liverpool home game beginning of the season, we were in it. City, we lost 4-1 at City, but we were like very much in the game. West Ham was a bad one. But there are certain games where we should have definitely picked up more points, and the points definitely don't reflect how well we've played in games. But then, what's the point in saying that really? Playing nice football doesn't get you points. I'd rather us play god-awful football and, pick up more points and stay up. Or would I? I don't know. I kind of like that we're still trying to play our way, and sometimes it just doesn't work. I predicted at the beginning of the season we'd finish 17th. I think with 3 points off, it's going to be tricky. I personally think we're better than 3 teams in this league, but that doesn't keep you up, so we'll see. But yeah, it's not looking good. Jasmine, what's the most interesting conspiracy theory you've read? That's a good question. I mean, I just find ancient Egypt fascinating, so anything about, how the pyramids were built, I definitely like that. My favourite conspiracy theory of all time, though, is that Avril Lavigne is dead and has been replaced by a clone. I don't know why. I find that so funny. But yeah, thank you, Jasmine, for that question. Sam asks, favourite film and actor. So my favourite film is Independence Day and Interstellar. Interstellar, my serious answer. Independence Day, my guilty pleasure movie. Favourite actor? I'd Steve Carell or Matthew McConaughey. Is a toss-up between those two. Radaniers asks, what's the best way to cheer yourself up on a bad day? Food. And then not feeling the pressure to stick to your routine for the day is what I would say. I usually, treat yourself to a nice lunch, a nice dinner, say, you know what, I'm not cooking tonight. I'm going to put on a movie and order a pizza, and then not get stressed about not sticking to the plans that may be stressing you out that day. That's my advice. I keep getting this one bit of hair that keeps falling out of place. Honestly, I need to get a haircut, but obviously I've been ill for weeks and I haven't had a cut in like a month. Victory asks, what's your favourite singer / band? My favourite band is 21 Pilots, for sure. I love Nothing But Thieves. And then singer, I'm on a real The Weekend kick at the listening to him for the last month or so pretty religiously, and I never really listened to The Weeknd before, just like his chart ones, but I've like since gone back through all his albums and listened to them all, and yeah, he's quality. C-Dibs, what are some of your hobbies? Darts. We've finally bit the bullet and put a darts board up. We found space to get the proper like measurements and whatnot, and I love just, it's such a good thing, like just for 10 minutes just throw some darts. Collecting, obviously Pokemon. I'm doing Premier League stickers at the minute. I know we might go down, but I want to milk everything while Ipswich are in the Prem, and there's an Ipswich player on the cover, so how could I not? So yeah, collecting and darts, really. It's going to the gym a hobby, but even then I do that for a bit, then get bored, and then go, you need to get back in the gym, and a severe lack of consistency. Right, let's just suck from Pikachu. Honestly. Ali Cat, what is your favourite movie or TV series? Well, I've answered movie. TV series is The Office US. I'm currently rewatching it for, I don't really know, 9th, 10th time by now. Oh, Lord knows. I can recite most episodes, to be fair, and it still makes me laugh. Serious series, Game of Thrones. Doctor Who was big in my childhood, but I've gone right off that now. I'm watching Succession at the minute, and that is amazing. And I love The Penguin. That's going to be up there. Bob asks, if you could travel to any time and any place, where would you go and why? I'd kind of like to experience real-life Jurassic Park for myself, so probably back to the dinosaurs. As long as I could like snap my fingers and be safe kind of vibe. I'm not going back there and being stuck there. That or the Live Aid concert where Queen performed. Would have loved to have seen Queen play live. Cannon asks, have you ever played football? Yes, I played under 9s or under 8s to under 18, so 10, 11 years. Just for the same local team pretty much for the whole time, and then for a few years played for, it was kind of like, it wasn't an academy attached to a club, but like we played other clubs' academies, like we played Stevenage, like various teams, and that was like a good level, and I enjoyed that, but really I just enjoyed playing for pleasure. I was like a decent player, but I was never ever gonna go pro, and I wasn't one of those people who like, you know, those people who are like decent and like think they're gonna go pro and think they're much better than they are. I was under no illusion that was gonna happen. I was in the Leicester development squad for a little bit. We played other like clubs and stuff. Then we played like West Brom development and Villa maybe at some point. But that was like under 13s, 14s ish. And it did not amount to anything. And then when I went to uni, I sort of swapped football for futsal. Futsal's so much more interesting. You're always in the game. Yep. So next, Lewis asks, he's got a few questions. Most interesting place you've ever travelled to? That's a really good question. I'd probably go with Ghana. I went to Ghana when I was 16, 17, to basically start building some accommodation for this orphanage in a village, and that was just like incredible. Like their way of life, the people, like the this orphanage, and obviously we smashed them. Then we went to this like secondary school and played their first team. They had some ballers, but we beat them. And then because it was quite a lot of my friends. It was like with school, and we were all quite good. And then basically we progressed again, and we played the village team, and they literally shut the whole. This village was like a town really. They shut the whole town, shops, everything, and everyone came to watch this game. I reckon there was a good 200-300 people there, honestly, and they beat us because they were very good. But yeah, that was just such an eye-opening, experience. I really want to go back to Africa soon, for sure. When making videos on facts or theories, how long does it usually take to compile a list of things you want to talk about? Another good question. I think it varies depending on how much time I have that day. Sometimes I'll take insane shortcuts and use like ChatGPT. Sometimes I'll just find one article and read from that. Other times I'll find 3 or 4 and like cross-reference, fact-check, all of that good stuff. It just depends really how much time I have that day, really. There's been some where I've done like one fact about every country, where I've had to like manually search for one for each to get like a good interesting fact. Because I used ChatGPT for the capital city fact video, but a lot of them were about how high up the city was or how far below sea level, and it's like not quite interesting, is it? And then I know that's all from Lewis, so thank you, Lewis. Totally not the one asks, what was the first thing you ate today? Interesting. It was a yogurt, a 25-gram protein yogurt, mango or passion fruit and something. I don't know. There you go. Sharon asked, do you have siblings? Yes, I do. I am one of 5 siblings, and I'm the oldest. Alexis, where are you from? I'm from the Midlands, basically, near Northampton, essentially. But yeah, the Midlands of England. And Alexis also asked, do you have any pets? I sadly do not. Me and my partner do want a dog, but we're going to wait till after we've got married. But equally not sure how it will factor in with travel plans and stuff. I do. My family have a dog called Maggie. She's a cockapoo, and I love her. And we're actually looking after her soon to have her for the week, which I'm very excited for. Now, from pets to pet peeves. Solidine asks, what are your pet peeves? That's a good question. I think what really used to irritate me when I used to live back home, my younger brothers would clear the table after dinner, like clear their plate to the side, but they wouldn't even put it on the side near the sink. They'd put it like on the side, like far down, and I'm like, that's not helpful. You've just moved it from point A to point B, but point B is actually further away than point A. So that always really annoyed me. What about habits? People who constantly sniff, like, and you can tell they've got a lot of like snot built up. Like, just go and blow your nose. Just go and blow your nose, please. Spare us all the pain, please. There's probably some more, but little kids staring. Is that one? Am I allowed to have a pet peeve about a child? Yeah, sod it. Kids who stare too much, like, teach your kid to not stare. It's rude. I don't care how old you are. And Solidine also asked 2025 travel plans / bucket list travel destinations. This year, we are going away in May or June. Not sure where yet though. It's going to be a surprise. No, we just haven't planned it yet. And then we are getting married in August in Greece, to be fair. So that is a travel plan. And then we'll probably do a couple of weekends throughout the year, like to European cities. I've got Amsterdam booked, but that's not until next February, so not 2025, because I've got tickets to go see Hans Zimmer, which will be really good. And Solidine finally asked, any Reddit pages adding to the rotation, or ask a question? Yes, there's two, and I forgot the names of them. Is one called Am I the Devil? Or Devil something something? And there's another one that is called Angel. Oh no, malicious compliance. That's it, malicious compliance. So it's like people confessing to like they've been asked to do something that they really don't want to do. They do it, but like find a workaround to do it poorly, but get away with it, or like I like that kind of thing. It's good. It's good. I think I did a members video for him. I'll definitely be doing a main video for that soon. So thank you, Solidine, for your questions. JP Studio, do you prefer making fact or scary story videos? Scary story videos. They're my favourite to make. Honestly, like, if I ever lose the passion completely for fact and history videos, I'll just turn this channel into a scary channel, honestly. I never get bored of reading them. I like alternating between Let's Not Meet and No Sleep. I like both. Let's Not Meet scares me more, but then No Sleep impresses me more because some of them are so well written. I love making those videos. They will never die. And he also asks, what's your favourite theme park ride? Ooh. Great question. I haven't been to a theme park in so long. I mean, my favourite theme park in the UK is Thorpe Park. My favourite ride there, I do very much like the Saw ride at Thorpe Park. I also like Colossus there. I'd also say Oblivion maybe at Alton Towers. I went to a Six Flags once in America, and they've got like a really high like swing chair thing. That was insane as well. But I'll go Oblivion or the Saw ride at Thorpe Park. Prince Macdo asks, what's your favourite video to make? Scary stories I think trumps everything. I do like doing fact videos, but obviously it's just kind of sitting and reading, like there's no kind of chatting between the two of us kind of thing. I do like the conspiracies, to be fair, but I think, scary stories are just the best. They're just the best. Not X, Des X. Who is your favourite author? I'll come clean. I don't read. I read comics. That's it. And I'm not even one of those people who like makes a news resolution to read more and then they don't. I don't even kid myself. I don't like reading. To quote Neil from The Inbetweeners, it's just a slow version of TV. So I don't really have them, sorry. Defiant Elf asks, are you a fan of NASCAR? I am not. I don't think it's very big here in the UK, so no. And he also asked favourite food. Love pizza. I've had some fantastic, like proper, like Neapolitan, like dough pizzas over the last couple of weeks up in Sheffield. Oh, so good. it. I love chicken wings, and I love a good roast dinner. 30 BMFR. Oh, we got some Harry Potter themed questions. Do you like Harry Potter? If so, who's your favourite character? I don't like Harry Potter. I love it. Me and my partner actually, basically, I went to Harry Potter, the making of Harry Potter, like studios, in Watford years and years ago, like a good 9 years ago, and I'd been sort of talking about it a little bit, wanting to go back, and then it was one of my main presents that my partner got for me, and we did that a couple of weeks ago, and it was awesome. We did it like at night, so everything was lit up, and we did it in January, but it was still had all the Christmassy like decorations and art. If you get a chance to do it, like it's so good. And I could happily go back like next year and still get the same enjoyment out of it. Like, it's amazing. Favourite character? I love Sirius. Black. I really like Bellatrix. I just love how unhinged she is. And then animal-wise, Buckbeak. Like, I want a Buckbeak, realistically. But yeah, they're my 3 faves. Favourite book? Is Goblet of Fire. Favourite movie? I mean, is probably still Goblet of Fire, but they do leave quite a lot out in the movie from the book. But it's probably a top 4, 5 and 6 movies wise. Ask me on a different day. I used to really not like Half-Blood Prince, but honestly, Loki could be my favourite now. Which house we sorted in? I did this recently after we booked our tickets. It took us to Baltimore, I think it's called, to do the quizzes, and I got put in Hufflepuff, which isn't Hufflepuff, meant to be like the stoner chill kids. So I'm evidently just a chill guy. My Patronus. What would my Patronus look like? Did that quiz as well. It was a fox terrier. I have no idea what that says about me. But there you go. Thank you, 30 BMFR, for those Harry Potter related questions. Now, Jensen has asked, favourite album? Oh, great question. I mean, Clancy by 21 Pilots, their latest album, I think is their best, honestly, so that would be up there. Immersion by a band called Pendulum, who I love. They kind of mix rock and drum and bass. One of the most unique bands ever, and that album is near perfect. I really like Damn by Kendrick Lamar. That's just such a nice album to just kind of have on in the background. I love that one. Few Muse ones. I really like Muse. Origins of Symmetry, Absolution, Black Holes and Revelations. They're my 3 favourite from them. And I like quite a lot of Eminem's old school albums. I just like such a weird range. At the minute, my favourite vinyl I have is the Wicked soundtrack. Jensen also asks, best Ipswich game you've ever watched? Oh, great question. Obviously, over the last couple of years, especially been blessed with some insane memories. I mean, last season, beating Southampton was ridiculous. That last minute winner, and that was kind of the night where everyone started believing, oh wow, we're actually going to get promoted. That that was up there, one of the most mental things ever. This season, that win at Spurs was special. The first Premier League win, like being in that away end, was just unbelievable. But then when I think further back, I was at when we beat Arsenal in the first leg of the FA Cup semi-final. Was it FA Cup? No, Carabao Cup, but back then it was the Carling Cup. We beat them 1-0, and this was back when they had like Fabregas playing and whatnot. Arshavin. And that was just like such an insane experience. Yeah, I've been to quite a few games. Really, most of my games have been over the last 3 years because, I mean, coincidentally, that's when we've been doing pretty well. So evidently, I'm a glory hunter. No, it's the fact that through uni, I had no money. Like, when I wanted to go to an away game, and I did go to quite a few, I would have to literally ask my mum to pay for it. But thankfully, lots of delicious, well, not lots, all of my disposable income pretty much goes on football. But what else is there to football and food? Like, what more do you need, really? So yeah, I'd go Southampton game, and the Arsenal game comes to mind. So thank you, Jensen, for those questions. Carol Donato asks, any place you want to visit after seeing it in GeoGuessr? Oh my gosh, what a question, and yes. Okay. I think this was a video I did, was it just before Christmas or after Christmas? I think it was just before Christmas. And it spawned me on this island, and it turned out to be in Antarctica. But as I was clicking through, I was following like a line of people, clearly on like an expedition, and they'd come over on a ferry and then like a small dinghy boat, and then out of nowhere, all of these penguins appeared. And I don't mean hundreds, I mean thousands of penguins, and this line of people walking through all of these penguins coming right up to them. After that, I finished that video, I literally googled to find the excursion, and damn, it's expensive, but it's now my life's ambition to go on that excursion and see penguins in the wild. They're my favourite animal. It just looked insane. So yes, thank you for bringing that back up. That is my live stream. Doe Dickler has asked a few very hard-hitting questions. Number 1, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? To my shame, I've never seen it, so I'm unfortunately can't weigh in on this discussion, so apologies. Who would win 1 billion lions or the sun? That's such a good question. I think the sun, right? I don't think there's any, like, the sun, like, let's say 500 million lions going into the sun. Would that somehow deplete the sun's energy? I don't think it would, so I think the sun wins, to be honest. And then 1 billion lions, or one of every Pokemon, I think you could argue that even one of certain Pokemon eventually could probably clear out 1 billion lions, surely. Yeah, one of every Pokemon, for sure. And Jigglypuff solos. Toads has asked, what is 4th on your list of places you want to travel to most? I like it. Interesting way of saying it. Let me think of the 3 in my head. I think I said them earlier. Third on my list is Switzerland. One Sim asked, have you ever studied at university? If yes, what? Yep, I studied at the University of Sheffield for 3 years. I did history, and then it taught me a load of really, really useful skills that, to be fair, I still use today. around me were going into law, teachers, history, and I didn't want to, so I then went and did a master's in digital media production, which basically, it was a MSc, a Master's of Science, I think that is, and was basically pretty much practical, like in various aspects of digital media. So there was a newsroom module where we learn how to operate a newsroom, cameras, editing, and that's where I was already doing a little bit of editing in the background and teaching myself Premiere. And then I learned Avid Media Composer, and then just kept editing, and then that eventually led to my work, and obviously helps with the ASMR videos. So yeah, that is what I did. Only got a few more questions left now. DS asks, do you have a job, or is this now your full-time job? I do have a job. This is not my full-time job. I think even if I made enough money for it to be my full-time job, I still think I would keep it as I think, unless I was making silly money like cheapy ASMR money, which is just never ever gonna happen, I think I would keep it as more of a hobby that generates a little bit on the side. I don't want to ever lose the passion for doing this, to be honest. But yeah, my job, I'm essentially line manager for a team for a social media company. We produce content about like pop culture, celebrities and stuff, which prior to this job, to having the job, I was never really that into celebrity stuff. I'm still not, but I kind of have to be for my job. And yeah, I manage a team, essentially, of content creators, editors, so to speak. And it's really fun. I really enjoy it. Love it. The penultimate question is asked by Katie. Will you be making more reading videos, and what are some books that interest you? Gosh, Katie, why have you asked that? After me admitting I don't read. I probably won't be doing. I'll probably do more flip through videos, but in terms of like book readings like Sherlock Holmes, I mean, number one, I find those videos kind of boring to make, and two, they tanked views wise. I don't do things for the views, but you have to draw a line somewhere. So I've got indigestion. And finally, Joel, oh blimey, a genuinely pretty hard-hitting question. What is the most beautiful thing that happened in your life? Wow. That is a fantastic question. The most beautiful thing that happened in your life. I'm not really sure how to define the word beautiful. I mean, meeting my partner is the very, very soppy answer, but obviously that's just, we've had the best time the last 8 years and whatnot, and, is it 8 years? Yeah, it is 8 years. Nice. Yeah, we just had an amazing time and can't wait to, continue that. I think becoming a Christian, because that, I think having that faith shaped me a lot growing up. Like, say what you will about, like, religion. I think all religions are beautiful, to be honest. My personal preference, though, is Christianity. I think religion, with certain exceptions, can teach you, like, really good, just, like, basic life morals and ways to live your life and stuff. So I'd say becoming a Christian is definitely up there. And then it's not really a thing to happen, but like I've absolutely loved being a big brother to 4 siblings, 2 brothers, 2 sisters. I couldn't imagine being a middle sibling or a younger sibling. I've loved, being somewhat of a role model and yeah, being that older brother. Like, yeah. nice. You know what? Who was that? Was that Joel? Thank you, Joel, because I feel like that was quite a nice, wholesome way to end this Q&A, and we're well over an hour as well, which is tasty. So thank you each and every one of you who asked 1 question, 2 questions, 3 questions or more. I greatly appreciate it, and this was certainly fun. I think we should do more of these types of videos. Maybe we could do an assumptions video soon. Let me know if you'd like to see that. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for tonight's video. I'm getting pretty tired. You can tell I think my blinks are getting a bit longer. But yeah, thank you once again so much, guys, for 40,000 subscribers. You are amazing, and I love you all. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video